Once a year, Corey takes his family on a vacation to a lonely and cold spot at the bottom of Sidelicks World. It's full of snow they play in. Arnold, Gary, Nick, and Oscar would have lots of fun. The others were waving goodbye. "Corey," asked Billy, "could you bring back an icicle for me? I've always wanted to see one." "I'll be sure to get you one," promised Corey. "There's an ice cave we climb up to." Timmy hooked a car up to his train and they were on their way. The trip was long, but at last they saw piles of snow. Timmy said he'd be back in a few days, and he left the happy family there. Nick and Oscar instantly built snowlicks. Gary and Arnold wanted to see the cabin. But Corey got on his promise to Billy. But the roof was very high. He wasn't sure he'd be able to make it. He called in Oscar and Nick. "We can use those as ladders," he said. "Do you want to collect icicles?" Oscar and Nick certainly did. They scurried up, but Corey warned them to hold to the bars and go up slowly. Nick obeyed his father, but Oscar felt daring. He reached up for an icicle, but suddenly he slipped. The ladder fell, heading straight for Corey. He dodged a collapse, but forgot his nephew was on it. "That was almost as fun as going to the boxer," laughed Oscar. Gary and Arnold heard the noise and came to see what happened. He explained to them. "So why did you hide from the ladder?" asked Arnold. "I thought you were fearless." "I am," replied Corey. "He was once, Arnold," said Gary. "But he's older now and can't handle such things. He might have been in the war," he added, "but he has been careful ever since." Gary and Arnold took Oscar and Nick inside, but Corey stayed behind. "I still am fearless," he told himself. "That ladder just caught me off guard. I'll show them that I'm as useful as Arnold, the youngest of us." But Corey did not have a clue how he would do that. The next day he glanced up at the ceiling again. He still needed to get that icicle. Suddenly, Corey had an idea. "Oscar and Nick must think it's not cool to hold onto a ladder," he thought. "That's why Oscar did that stunt. Well then, I'll be as cool as he was." Corey stepped up the ladder with his hands in the air. Nick and Oscar were looking for him, and when they saw him doing this, they gasped. "Look at where my dad is," cried Nick. "That's the bravest thing to do," said Oscar. Oscar cheered and Nick whistled. Corey felt very proud now. But he was so happy that he didn't notice how high he was. And with one false move, the ladder started to tip. He tried to make it look cool, but he just tumbled into the snow. Gary heard that, too. "Are you crazy, Corey?" he snapped. "Since when do you climb a ladder like an immature child?" "I think you need to think." "You might be fearless again, Corey," sighed Arnold, "but now you're also silly." Corey sulked in the snow. He didn't know what to think. Should I try to be cool and impress the others, he asked himself? Or should I be safe instead? Why was he even climbing the ladder? He had completely forgotten. The icicle was for Billy, and Billy would like him whether he was cool or not. And so would everyone else. "I'm letting 41 go to my head," he groaned. "I need to get that icicle, the safe way." Corey climbed the ladder again, but held onto the bars tightly. He stayed very stable and grabbed an icicle. But then he felt the ladder slip once more. But he didn't fall. He looked down and saw everyone holding it steady. "Guys," he smiled, "thank you." "No problem, Dad," said Nick. "We knew you'd go back up there," chuckled Oscar. "I'm glad to see you playing it safe again, brother," laughed Gary. "Gee," moaned Arnold, "why can't I be like you?" Just then, Timmy arrived to pick them up. All the way home, Corey told the others more stories of when he was young, and the stories from now as well that keep his life fun. Billy was overjoyed to see the icicle. "Thank you, Corey," he cheered. "I knew I could count on you." "Thank you, Billy," thanked Corey. "Thank you."